Good morning. Sunday morning, the 30th of October. I'm here to help drummers make audition recordings for the 2017 DOD Jazz Fest. Okay, a couple things I want to mention before I go through some playing. Number one, first audition is, first etude is done on brushes. It's kind of strange. It's not as strange as the second etude, but it's pretty strange. Number one, you've got to develop some brush technique before you start this, although it doesn't take very long. I've done another short video on this, and I think Dr. Bertelutz at Ramstein has put this out. I certainly hope so. If not, we can get it out there. Just showing basic brush technique. So the key to playing this first etude is being able to get a continuous brush on the snare drum sound while you play these rhythms with the right hand. And it's not necessarily an easy trick. I'll do two recordings of it. One is as simple as possible, just keeping the brush sound going and playing the rhythms. And then the second time through, I just want to, you don't have any, there's no tune to play along with. So you just, in your imagination, and based on my experience looking at these kind of figures, I can add some bass drum and some little figures, in there to break up the pattern. And you should do this as you are comfortable to try to make sure that you display whatever skills that you might have. And certainly consult with your private teacher and or your music teacher to make sure that you're doing this tastefully, all right? They do have that kind of experience. The second etude is extraordinarily left-handed. Really weird how a lot of the hits are on 1 and 3, which is contrary to the backbeat standard jazz pocket, which has a lot of things on and of 2 and of 4. And so it's a little bit different. So I'm going to play that, very, very simply. Okay, I'm here. Anybody that has a question, your music teacher can put you in touch with me. I'd be happy to peruse early recordings. Make sure you're on the right track. We want the absolute best auditions possible. We want to give the best musicians the best opportunities at kicking this big band, because it's going to be a lot of fun, I promise it. And there was one more thing I wanted to mention before we get into the playing etudes. Both of these etudes are in a swing style, and so it doesn't give you much of an opportunity to show what you're capable of. I strongly encourage you, and I can help with material. I encourage you to be fluent in several different styles. If a piece of music says Latin, bossa nova, samba, cha-cha, you got to know what to do. There are basic patterns that you can develop, and I can provide some information on that. You got to be able to do it. If it says ghost note funk, Garibaldi funk, you ought to have an idea of what that is. And again, I can help with those kind of things. As it says 6/8 Latin, Afro-Cuban, there are strict rules and patterns that we build drum ideas around that are kind of standard to the literature. You should have an idea of what those things are. And between myself and your teacher and your private teachers, we can help with that. Really makes a big difference when you sit down, behind the band and are comfortable with those very important styles. Okay? Well, let's get on to some playing. Okay, here we go. Warts and all. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. take two. Not going to be a big, huge change. It's what I'm confident in. Number one, I got to make sure I play good swinging time. Keep it simple is wise advice. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Etude number 2, just trying to keep good swinging time going between my right hand and my hi-hat and play the figures with my left hand. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, take 2. Not much difference. It's just an uncomfortable group of figures without knowing the tune. It's really hard. Just going to make some obvious changes. And again, I think everybody will be pretty happy with that, being able to play that rhythm accurately in good swinging time. So just a few changes. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Warts and all. I'm Jeff Pelleton, and I approve this message.